Welcome to DEB Talks. For the first DEB Talk, we've decided to go with Who the Hell is Deb? And for this, I've chosen the title Shit Not Again. The reason is when I was in my early 20s, I became unwell with a mental health problem. I mainly ended up with anxiety disorders that kept getting worse and worse. And by the time I was in my early 30s, about 32, I think I had all of the 6 major anxiety disorders all at once. I know, a bit of an overachiever. So what happened is about 32, I became housebound and I was stuck in my house for nearly 2 full years, very, very rarely going out, even as far as the gate. It got so bad sometimes that I didn't even have the capacity to go room to room. So you can imagine when they said there's a coronavirus and guess what? You all have to now stay inside. It led me to the title, Shit Not Again. So who the hell is Deb? Deb's somebody who was unwell, and for the last 8 years in particular, I have been really well. So the difference between staying in my home in the past and staying in my home now is that I'm well. So what I want to point out from this little quick video to start is that if you currently have a mental health problem, so if you've got depression or anxiety, for instance, you're actually ahead of the rest of the population. We already know what it feels like to feel like shit. We know what it feels like to have anxiety and fear. This is going to be new to other people. So we're ahead of the game. So do what you're currently doing to keep yourself moving forward if you're in that position. If you currently don't have a mental health problem or a mental disorder, don't assume you're going to get one. Not everybody's that lucky. So just because we're all experiencing anxiety and overwhelming senses of fear, it doesn't mean to say everyone's going to get a mental health problem. Rest assured, most of the population of this world is actually going to stay quite sane. I know it's hard to think of that when you go into the toilet paper aisle of Woolies, but look, I asked people to give me some topics to talk about, and I was absolutely amazed at how many topics have been faxed through already. So things like, Deb, could you talk about being less judgmental? Deb, can you tell us the difference between stress and anxiety? Some good heads up stuff for mental health. So I'll be talking about these. One really interesting one, I've had some people ask, Deb, can you tell us about adapting your job to home? And look, interestingly enough, that one actually came from a gynecologist. So my tips will be small. I think for the gynecologist working from home, my best tip would be put a lock on the door. I don't think everybody needs to see that stuff. Anyway, to finish with the tip from this, who the hell is Deb? Deb is somebody who was trapped in her house for a couple of years. Deb was somebody who's lived through feeling like hell. And Deb is now somebody who's in their house, just like you are, having to be stuck at home, who's actually really, really enjoying it and feeling really well, feeling healthy, feeling enthusiastic. Things are going to be okay. If you don't have a mental health problem, do not assume you're going to get one. Looking forward to seeing you on the next DEB Talk, and please keep the faxes coming.